Greetings friends and fans of YouTube, it's nice to see you all again. Welcome to another one of my videos. So today, as promised in the unboxing video, I'm going to be reviewing this. This is my brand new Ibanez Iron Label 66fdfm in Space Purple Burst. So as with any review video I ever do, I'll go through the specs, I'll go through the tones, and it's up to you guys then to see whether or not that this might be the next axe for you. So before I start, obviously the purple burst finish was actually a limited edition run colour. I don't think they do it anymore. Instead they do a darker, more or less black finish and a finish that the deep blue burst starts off a green colour and goes out blue. It looks a bit like a reef. It's actually really cool, but I prefer this one by a mile because it stands out more or less anywhere, unless you blend it in against my wall, in which case it kind of blends in quite nicely. So, straight onto the specs then. The body is mahogany, meaning that it's light because there's not much of it, because it's a Sabre series Ibanez, so there's as minimal amount of body as you can get. Meaning it's nice and light, nice and easy to hold, but it's perfectly balanced. There's no top weight, no bottom weight. The mahogany body helps to ensure that, because mahogany, even though there's not a lot of it, is quite heavy. It's a flame maple top. As you'll see, it's in that lovely space purple burst. There's also a binding around the edges there, just a black and white binding. I think it's the same up on the headstock as well, yep, just there. It has a 3-way selector switch, a true grip volume knob. So obviously to show that off here, you'll notice that it is a bit thicker and that it has these grooves around it as well, meaning that it's nice and easy to grip, and the actual potentiometer that's in it is very, very good. It rolls off volume quite well and doesn't do it in blocks, it does it gradually. The pickups are Dimarzio Fusion pickups, which were designed in collaboration with Dimarzio and Ibanez, allowing this to voice out for every feasible possibility that you can think of, because this also has a coil split switch. As opposed to putting it in the potentiometer, it's actually in a separate switch here. It is a 25.5-inch scale length with a bound ebony fretboard and a maple and babinga 3-piece neck. The tuners are Gatoa locking machine heads, so instantly bags and bags of tuning stability. And as you'll notice as well, it has a recessed import jack there, meaning that obviously it's going to be a lot better for stage use because your wire's less likely to fall out. So what I'm going to do, guys, is what I normally do. I'll start on the clean channel, in the neck, in the bridge, and then I'll split them as well, so you can hear the sort of like spankier kind of stratty sounds you can get from this. Then I'll switch over to the distorted channel and we'll go again. Now for this video I am in my band's current tuning, which is drop C sharp, so to give you an idea as to how that sounds. It is the Trivium tuning. So I'm going to start in the neck position with the full humbucker. Here we go. Roll the volume back slightly. And then I'm going to split the pickup. So as you can hear, there's not a lot of muddiness to the tone. Dimarzio by and large do create amazing pickups, but for this, these have been voiced in a particular way because this branch of the Iron Label series spans across the Sabre series and the RG series, and these particular pickups were voiced specifically for these guitars. So it's not too boomy, it's not too bass heavy, it's just nice and crisp and resonant, and it does that across all of the strings. I'll play a chord here for you. There's no loss in note clarity, there's no loss in note definition. Everything voices out exactly as you'd expect it to. So I'm going to split the two pickups now between the bridge and the neck. Obviously the coil split doesn't apply so much in this position. So here we go. With the coil tap on, just in case. And then roll back with the volume as well. So again, even with the coil split on and the pickups in the split position, there's no loss in note definition. It goes more like a Strat that has the single humbucker configuration, which is really nice if you want that sort of spanky high end. Here we go. It's just nice and spanky, but it's nice and bright too. So now to the bridge position. Again with the full humbucker first. And now with the coil split. With a slight volume roll off. So there's no loss of note clarity in any of the pickups, and I think this is because Ibanez worked in collaboration with Damasio to voice them. One of the things I forgot to mention as well is that this guitar has a Ibanez Gibraltar 2 standard bridge, and it also has the easy access truss rod cover, which you'll be able to see here, meaning that you don't have to change your strings to adjust your truss rod, which is really handy for setups. So what I'm going to do now is switch over to the distorted channel and go through some tones that way. See you in a sec. Here we are guys, so I'm back on the distorted channel, and if you just want to hear how that sounds. It's nice and boomy, it's nice and crunchy. It does help that I'm using a Blackstar ID20 amp with digital modelling. However, I am starting to get into pedals now and looking at getting a bigger amp. But at the moment I also have a Boss ME50 that I borrowed from one of my bandmates to give me a more versatile range of tones, and I will probably use that at some point in the video at a later point. But anyway, back to the guitar. So I'm going to start in the neck position on full humbucker. Here we go. Solo style comparison. such sustain and so much note clarity that solos sound amazing. Even tapping. So straight on to the split coil. Tone. And some tapping. So again, there's no loss of note clarity, and I like that, especially with being in a band as well as the rhythm player. This has got a lot of chunk in the distorted channels. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go straight to the bridge for this one. Here we go. And with a little bit of solo. And now to the split. So again, it sounds a bit more spankier with the bridge pickup split, and you do lose a little bit of the chunkiness of it when the coil is split. So I'm just going to quickly go to the split position between the two and then round up this review. And then with the coil split. Again, not as resonant as having it in the individual pickups of their own, but could be ideal if you want to get that proper fuzzy tone. Now, I'll be truthfully honest, guys, I have never, ever played a guitar this comfortable in my life. Brand new, these are £799 or $699 depending on which retailer you go to. And they are now only available in the Deep Blue Burst and the Black Burst, but I believe the Black Burst version also has a tremolo system. Whereas I prefer the locking tuners, being the rhythm player in our band, and I can't fault this. I got this one second hand from a pawnbroker's in London for £400 and there's not a mark on it. I absolutely adore it. So much so to the point that I have pet named it Amethyst because it is bright purple. Would I recommend this guitar? Absolutely. It's an Ibanez S series Iron Label. It's not an entry level player by any means, and I wouldn't buy it for someone that is an entry level player. This one's definitely more for intermediaries and serious professionals. Obviously with the locking tuner system and the Dimazio pickups, as well as the string through bridge, the Gibraltar bridge, this thing has bags of tone even though there's barely any wood to it. I mean, I can balance it on one hand. It's so ridiculously light. But from someone like me, that means I can run around on stage, have fun with it, and not feel restricted by its weight. So thank you very much for watching, guys. It's always a pleasure to post things to YouTube, especially things like my review videos. I feel I have a lot to offer to people, and I can't wait to show you some of the things I'm doing musically, and obviously more demos with this absolutely gorgeous guitar. I thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you soon.